With historical low inventory, soaring number of sales, the Calgary real estate market is poised for true growth over the next couple of months and maybe even into the next couple of years. Similarly to Calgary, Vancouver and Toronto are also seeing prices rising, multiple offers, and all of these things happening there as well, which is all kind of recovering from this FOMO-driven post-COVID market that we've seen. With so many buyers being so frustrated with so many things happening in this market, especially multiple offers, are we gonna see this type of market end anytime soon? Unfortunately, no. In this market, with the high number of sales, and they're actually record levels that have been set, I don't think we're gonna see this end anytime soon. Could a surge of home buyers be coming to our market, especially from Ontario and BC, in the coming months because of their increased market prices, multiple offers, and unaffordability? Well, there's a good chance. As the Bank of Canada is trying to stop inflation, are these home buyers that are seeking affordability going to have the same power as they did before to get their employers to allow them to work from Calgary? I don't know. So how is Calgary going to fare over the next couple months, especially into 2024? It's really hard to say, but what I do know is as long as we stay in this type of market and this type of economy, and with supply and demand the way it is, there's only one way that prices are gonna go. Well, we can't really predict the future, but what we can do is look at the past. So let's get out of here. Let's head into the studio and see what the data has to say. Man, with May 2022, we thought we saw it all. We saw nothing. May 2023 was its own record-setting month for the number of sales that happened in Calgary. And a lot of that had to do with apartments and how popular they've become. So what do we do when we're trying to figure out what's happening in the market? On this channel, we jump into the numbers, and that's what we're gonna do. As the market continues to move forward, the reality is that understanding what's happening in the market and knowing what you can do about things is really, really important. Whether you're planning on buying or selling something now or in the future, knowing what's happening in the market is going to be a key in a successful transaction down the road. I want to start off with the first thing: is Calgary still popular? Are people still thinking about Calgary and moving here like they have over the last number of years? And well, according to Realtor.ca, Calgary is the #1 search city in Q1 of 2023. And do you think there's people still looking for affordability? That's a yes. The answer is yes. Yes, they are. Yes, you are. You guys are still moving here. You're still looking for affordability. And that's kind of where we are at in our market. And we feel it. We see it. Like, I was talking to one of our assistants today, and she was saying, she's like, I just feel like it's busier on the roads. And it is. Like, there's more people living here than there has been in a while. I mean, it still does not feel like, I think it's the 401 on the GTA and stuff. Like, it's not like that at all. But the reality is our sales and our listings and the inventory that we have come to kind of a head where there's like a problem that's happening and things are flipping upside down because there's just no listings. Like, period. Overall, it is the craziest thing that's happening. And what that is doing is that is pushing up prices. So as you can see in here, we've actually hit a higher benchmark price. We've reached a new level. We've gone up to around $557,000 where we were at right around $550,000 last month. So there's about a $6,000 to $7,000 increase generally across the city in the benchmark price. And year over year, I truly wasn't expecting to see numbers going up because we had such a high year last year. And when you look at the east end of the city, this actually has a 10.6 increase year over year. And the next highest is the west, and I think it's about a 5.2%. The highest and the lowest price quadrants or zones of the city had the biggest increases. I don't know what to make of that, but that's what the data is showing us. So I find that interesting. Now, this is where I was talking about things are flipping on their head a little bit. Really hard to see in this chart right now because typically above in the gray, you have inventory. Every market has inventory, and you're able to see the inventory. You're able to go and look at a house 3 times, make a decision and buy it. You have new listings that come on, and then you end up buying something. Like, that's the typical market. Well, look at what's happening right now. We've kind of got a cluster bomb of things that are happening right in this one area where it nearly is very, very close to being similar numbers, from your inventory to your new listings and to the number of sales that have happened. So basically, the new listings are pretty much your inventory, which are pretty much all selling. That's what's happening in our city. And it can be really exhausting as a buyer trying to find the best home possible for you in this market, and always feeling like you're walking into battles competing for houses. Let's just take a moment, because it can be exhausting. It really, really can. We hear you, we see you, we feel for you. We've been there, and you have to really, it just comes down to strategy. If you believe the market is going to flip, it's not going to flip. If you will the market to have a fantastic deal show up in the market, it's probably not going to happen. This is a straight up supply and demand thing that we are feeling, and there is a lack of supply and a crap ton of demand, and that is where we are at in the city. And because of that, it continues to push down our months of inventory into a deeper seller's market. This basically says the same thing in a different way, but sales in the month of May have finally surpassed how many active listings there are. And so it is eating up all the other inventory that was out there versus what is on the market. That's really what's happening. So it's pushing it further in the seller's market. And this chart here, I'm not going to get into it too much, but the 7-day and 30-day months of inventory indicators are all showing that it is easily going to stay at a 1 month months of inventory, at least for the next month or two, and most likely further on if things continue. And as you can see in this chart, this is with the collective days on market. So the collective days on market are all tied to if a home goes on the market, for some reason they take it off maybe after a week, they put it back on the market and it's on for 3 weeks. The collective days on market shows 4 weeks on market, where the days on market shows 3 weeks. So this is a true number of how long things are sitting. And as you can see in the chart, it is roughly 25 days, and it's kind of figured out its market. Most likely this is where we're going to sit at for a while, because you can see the chart come down and kind of give a little bit of a flat line there. And again, like I said at the intro here, apartments, condo apartments, they are the thing that is really kind of driving the sales and the record that we've seen, because it's the only product type that actually has a higher sale value than what it did at the peaks of last year, which is really interesting. And it's the same now as it was last month. And last month was right at the verge. And I think it was like maybe 70 sales. Like, it was really, really tight. I don't remember the number of the second. But it's right at the verge. And you can easily see right here with that pink line, that is where the number of sales for apartments has easily surpassed the peak of last year, where every other product type has not done that. It's down. The number of sales are down from the peaks last year. Now, I want to talk about Airdrie really, really quickly. And as you can see, Airdrie is just skyrocketing with the number of sales. Inventory is trying to keep up, but things are getting eaten up there quite quickly. It's a similar thing in Cochrane, where, remember last month, if we talked about that run up that we had throughout the year, that has turned into it kind of all flatlining, and enough inventory is coming on to keep that supply, or keep the demand happy, I guess. And it's okay, but again, lots of multiple offers, low inventory. Chestermere, I mean, our weather has really helped Chestermere, as well as the market. So the combination of the two, they're sitting in a good place. I mean, if you're from Calgary, you know, like it's a rule. May long, you keep your winter tires on and you don't take them on till after May long weekend. It's just kind of a rule, right? Well, this year, if you kept your winter tires on after May long, I think you might have been driving around for maybe 2.5 weeks in like plus 20 degree weather, which is pretty shocking for Calgary this time of year. And that has helped Chestermere. It's given them more sales. It's a summer, it's a lake kind of area that people and the market really does pick up in the summer. And lastly, Okotoks. Okotoks over the month has seen a huge spike in demand, and the supply has just been trying to keep up. But for them, they have less than 50 listings in the whole city or the whole town, and that's really, really hard. So if you are wanting more information and you're wanting to have more data, head over here, download the guide in the description for all of the market report information, but head over to this video too, because this video talks a lot about other things that are happening in our market, and I know it's going to be valuable to you. So we'll see you guys on that video.